Hello everyone, good morning. It's time to start the day. Grab your coffee, your favorite beverage, shine your light and light the way.
Good morning, everyone. It is April 16th, 2024, and it's time for your Good Morning Coffee and Talk. I'm Dolly. This is the Wolf Girl Oracle, and I'm so glad that you guys are here today. Good morning to Katie, my good friend, who I see is already here putting, what are those called? Earworms in people's ear with Let's Get the Party Started by the Black Eyed Peas, which is awesome. And so I was sitting here and I was thinking, just when she said that, I'm like, oh, now that's stuck in my head. So I'm sitting here going, having a little song in my head as I start this morning. So does everybody have their coffee? I've got my coffee. Oh, wow. Look at this. Hi, Jenny. Good morning. You got your assignment and you are going to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. How exciting. That's exciting. So you're going to be down in, that same neck of the woods as Katie, which is pretty cool. Maybe you guys can meet up and have lunch or something. That would be super cool. And Fatima's here. Good morning, Fatima. Where are you? There you are. Good morning. It is good to see you. I am happy that you're here, my friend. I saw you this morning in Terry's live that she was doing this morning. Terry at Holding Your Space. She does a wonderful. Yeah, you're gonna set yourself on fire. Come here. Let me make sure you're okay. Oh, she's all right. She's all right. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Clarity jumped up on my altar. She was right on top of the candle. She did not start herself on fire, I don't think. She might have. It smells a little bit, but I checked her. She's okay. Oh, that cat. So we're going to just keep the door closed. I'm going to be sweating a little, but that's okay. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm crying. Oh. I love her so much. Okay, I'm sorry. Woo, now I'm sweating. Now my glasses are steaming up. Okay, we've got Jenny saying, yep, they had closed the assignment, but the client manager took one look at my resume and opened a spot for me like in 5 minutes. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Oh, I hope you have the best time in New Mexico. It's going to be a little bit hot. It's going to be a little bit hot, I'm sure, but I'm sure that Katie can give you all kinds of great tips for staying cool in the heat of the summer. And I know that, I don't know if you've worked down in that area before, but I've heard a couple of my friends who live in Arizona and my ex-roommates who live in New Mexico say that they have to put towels over their steering wheels in their cars and put car seats on their cars so that they don't burn themselves when they get into the car, because the heat is just that intense. Like, you could cook. My friend Leslie made cookies on the dashboard of her car to show how hot it was. So yeah, but congratulations. I hope that it's everything, I hope it's a magical experience for you and that you meet lots of new people and have a really, really good and blessed time out there. Oh, she's working nights. Okay, well, that is a good thing. That is a good thing, because then you'll be coming and going when the sun isn't as intense. So that is fabulous. That is great. Oh my gosh. I'm still laughing about my cat. She never jumps up there. She never jumps up on this altar right here. She never does that. But today she decided, oh, I'm gonna go check out the candle. I'm on fire. Oh my gosh, cats. And Jenny says, I'll be working at the veterans home. Oh, nice. Oh, and Katie says it's not as hot there. So that's good. That's a good thing. Katie would know. She knows all about that area. She will be in siesta when it is hot, just like the rest of us. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be siesta-ing this summer during the hot times too, because I'm not working. So I'll be either hiding out in the air conditioner or taking a nap when it's hot and getting up when it's a little cooler, because I don't like the heat. I'm not a hot weather girl at all. Good morning, Shanita. How are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is good to see you, my friend. So let's start off with the High Vibe card of the day from the High Vibe deck by Kyle Gray. And today, our card, the next in line, is choices. Choices are good. Remember, every moment is a choice. What do you choose in this moment? What do you choose in this moment? And this is interesting that this card would be next in line, because this morning, Katie Moonchild does a card of the day. If you connect with her Instagram, which Katie, feel free to put your Instagram in the chat if you'd like. If you connect with her on Instagram, she puts out a card of the day, and with the meaning in there. And today's was the Lovers, and the Lovers means a lot of things, right? It has, it can be with romantic love or partnerships, but the other meaning behind the Lovers card is choices, and how those choices have ramifications for your life. All of our life unfolds because of choices that we make, correct? And especially so in the choices that we make for partnerships, not necessarily love, although that's important too, but like partnerships with businesses that we decide to work for, or businesses that we decide to get into, and choices about friendships that we make, and directions that we go when we come to crossroads in life, right? Because that's another aspect of the Lovers, is the crossroads. So it was really interesting. And so if you're not connected with Katie, please connect with her on Instagram. I really enjoy her stuff. And Heather's here, and she says, listening while lurking. Okay, that's all right. We've got donuts and coffee in the lurker lounge there, Heather. Go and grab whatever you'd like. And they're gluten-free. No peanuts either. So feel free to grab some of our invisible donuts and coffee in there. I wanted to tell you guys about a book I'm reading. It's by Sinclair Lewis. It's called It Can't Happen Here. Okay. Now, I picked up this book because I'm a fan of Sinclair Lewis's writing style. Okay. Not realizing how freaking timely this book is right now. Let me just read the back to you guys real quick. No, the donuts are not sugar-free. You are absolutely right. They are packed with sugar. So if you eat any of the donuts in the Lurker Lounge, they're not diet. I'm just saying. Packed with sugar. Okay, so here's the back of this book. It says, It Can't Happen Here is the only one of Sinclair Lewis. Oh, let me move forward. This book is a cautionary tale about the fragility of democracy. It is an alarmingly eerily, and more coffee. Okay. It is an alarmingly eerie and timeless look at how fascism could take hold in America. Written during the Great Depression, when the country was largely oblivious to Hitler's aggression, it juxtaposes sharp political satire with the chilling, realistic rise of a president who becomes a dictator to save the nation. What? Are you kidding me? See, this is how spirit works. This is how spirit works. I shouldn't be amazed, but I am. I am completely floored by how things unfold for me in my life. And this book just came up. You know how you're on Amazon, and sometimes when you're ordering something, down at the bottom it says, hey, this could be paired with this. This book was paired up with something that I bought that was completely and totally unrelated. And I saw that it was by Sinclair Lewis, and I'm like, oh, I like Sinclair Lewis. You know, I really, really like Sinclair Lewis. I really like the book Main Street. Or I don't know if you guys have ever read that, but I really like that book. I thought, I'm going to pick this up. And what is this? So that I was like, okay, Spirit. Wow. So who else came in? Oh, Teresa Levine. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, Teresa Levine. Yes, I do have rented lips. I need to get my own. This is ridiculous already. So yes, good morning. Did I miss anybody else? No, we're good to go here. We are good to go. So let's get on to the good news. There is some really good news today, you guys. I'm very happy with today's good news. All right. So starting off with story number 1, in a world first, marine biologists were able to have a discourse with a humpback whale, pushing out the boundaries of cooperation and understanding that could be possible between two species. An adult female humpback whale, known as Twain, in southeast Alaska, was located along with a group of whales and called with a recording of another humpback's whoomp-thromp call. Like that. The recording was made by whales of the same group the day before, but the team didn't know if the calls recorded were made by the same whale or were part of an exchange between 2 or more whales. To find out, the researchers conducted the trial on 2 days, with the first to find out if the whoomp calls that they had recorded would be socially acceptable. It turns out that whatever the whales had been saying the day before was appropriate as far as Twain was concerned. And after the team broadcast the playback, she drifted away from her group and participated both physically and acoustically with 3 phrases of interaction with the crew and their boat during periods of engagement, agitation, and disengagement. First she called back, then she circled the boat 3 times, surfaced, and dived again. After this interaction, she gradually left. Twain's whoomp calls on day 2 and the whoomp calls recorded on day 1 were acoustically analyzed for both spectral and temporal features. Specifically, the intercall interval, or latency between calls, is measured by the time difference between the preceding call's offset and the subsequent call's onset. So, to make a long story short, they were able to both communicate and get interaction with this humpback whale. So this is a good start to deciphering the language of the whales and starting an interactive dialogue with the whales. And this is important because the sentience of animals is real. And I know that people don't understand that. I mean, we all personify, we give like anthropomorphic qualities to all of our animals, right? Like all of my cats have voices that I've given them, even the turtle Gaia back there, the way that she talks to me is like this. Ah! It's true. But anyways, we give these anthropomorphic qualities to the animals around us, the birds, we find a way to like see ourselves in them, but we don't have a common language. but that doesn't mean that they don't have sentience. As human beings, we've made that mistake over and over and over and over again throughout the course of history, where one group of human beings sees themselves as the pinnacle of how society should be, and everything that is less than that, culturally or just physically, whatever, is less than and not quite as human, right? So therefore, they don't get the same recognition, the same compassion, the same help, the same love that somebody from this upper echelon gets, right? Well, we do the same thing with animals. We see ourselves as sort of the masters and dominators of the environmental world, when these creatures clearly have sentience, clearly have language amongst themselves. Look at the way that ants, the little teeny tiny ant, look at the way that they coordinate to make things happen, right? All these social creatures, all the creatures on the planet and the plants. So I was really happy to hear about that whale story. It really just it gave me a spark of hope that maybe the way that we think about living creatures is starting to evolve. Because I really like to see that. Katie says Nova on PBS has an episode on this. See Patrick and the Whale. Okay, I will. Thank you, Katie. I'm all about that. I love whales. Whales are so cool. Here's the second story. Now, this one is pretty cool too, you guys. I'm all about the environment. I'm all about sustainable, renewable energies, wind power, solar power, wave power, geothermic power, all these things. But in Finland, and Finland, those people from Finland, I'm going to tell you something. I feel like they are an ascended race of people. Not saying that they're better than us per se, but they definitely got something going on that the rest of us need to get to. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, it says heat stored underground in caverns can be set aside in Finland's summer months to be reused during the frigid winters, thanks to a state-of-the-art seasonal energy storage facility. Slated for construction this summer near Helsinki, it will be the largest in the world by all standards and contain enough thermal energy to heat a medium-sized city all winter long. Thermal exchange heating systems, like those built underground or domestic heat pumps, are seen as the most effective way of reducing the climate impact of home heating and cooling. Their function relies on natural forces or energy recycling to cool down or heat up water, and then using it to radiate hot or cold energy into a dwelling. And what Finland is doing is Finland has a lot of data centers, and computers put off a lot of heat. If you don't believe me, just put your hand next to your computer one time or underneath your computer if you've got a laptop, and you will just feel the heat like pouring off of the computer, right? Now picture an entire room like the size of a football field filled with computers, and think of the amount of heat that generates. Well, the heat has to be transferred away. So what they're doing is they're transferring the heat away and sending it down into these underground caverns that are pressurized. And that in turn heats the water in this cavern up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. And then in the winter months, they just take that heat and take that hot water and pump it through these different radiating type things that allow that heat to heat up the homes. I mean, think about what we could do in America here. We have so many data centers. We have so many industrial complexes that have a bazillion computers in them, or things that give off heat. We could be doing this here too. And I think they said it's going to cost $217 million to create this project. But the turnaround in what they save by not burning fossil fuels is just amazing. And it's clean. This is a clean way of doing this. And I think that this is awesome. And we need to like write our senators and congressmen and say, do something like this here. Why is it only happening in Finland? We need to do these things here. And then lastly, another environmentally conscious thing. The Environmental Protection Agency finalized a rule last Tuesday that will require 218 chemical plants to reduce toxic and carcinogen airborne pollutants, aiming to reduce the number of people with elevated cancer risk by 96% nationwide. Now, this would not have happened under Trump. I'm just saying. He cut the EPA. He cut the EPA back so far that he was basically allowing whomever and whatever to pollute whatever the way that they wanted. I mean, the standards were set so low that companies were not being held accountable to the amount of pollutants that they were putting out into the air. Now, you'd think that a good company would care about these things, right? But when it costs their shareholders money to put in things that will help to reduce the carcinogens that are being put out into the world, usually the public or the workers are kind of put on the back burner in favor of profit. But the EPA is putting an end to this now, and I think it's a good start. I think that there's so much more that can be done to help to reduce the amount of emissions or carcinogens that are being put out into the world. But it's a start, and I'm very happy that this is doing this. The rulings principally address chloroprene. I can't say that word. Chloroprene, used to make rubber products, and ethylene oxide, used primarily for sterilizing medical supplies. Long-term exposure to these chemicals and their manufacturing have been identified as possible carcinogens or cancer-causing agents. So I'm glad that the EPA is stepping up and actually doing something about that, because that's something for 20 years I worked in a business that did environmental testing on motor vehicles, okay, to ensure that their emissions were not putting out too many hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, and nitrous oxide. And I learned the science behind all these things, and I was deeply passionate about what I did. Okay, so that passion hasn't gone away. So when I hear stories like this makes me happy. So Heather says, that's awesome. Katie says, we had geothermal heat in Oregon. Best heat ever. Yeah, I know that there are places that here in the United States that do thermal heating, but we also have to think about the cooling aspect of this as well, right? I'm pretty sure that in the same way that heat can be stored like that and used again in the winter months, cool can be stored and used that way to help radiantly cool a building down as well, which I think is pretty darn cool. So that was your good news for today. I hope you enjoyed your good news. More coffee. Oh, I am so happy that we have coffee. Katie says, we need that here in the desert. Yeah, you do. I mean, think of the kilowatt hours that are used when everybody's got their air conditionings all on at the same time. If there was a way to cool, cool air falls. So I think you'd have to maybe run pipes through. Would you run pipes through the roof to allow that air to fall? I don't know how you would do that, but there's got to be a way. Somebody invent that. Katie, will you invent that, please? Because I need that in my life. Oh, I got to tell you guys something. So this is a manifestation story, if there's ever been one. I think you guys have heard me talk about my mom and how she was for 50 years a wildlife rehabilitator. I grew up in a house full of bunnies, squirrels, all different kinds of birds, lots of different small animals. And since my mom has retired from doing animal rehabilitation, she's been very sad not having a bird in her house. So she was thinking, I would like to get another bird. I just don't know what kind of bird I'm going to get, But she's been talking about getting a bird now constantly for a year. Okay. And I put it out into the universe. I'm like, what kind of bird should my mom get? She needs to have a bird right now. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I was visualizing my mom with a bird and how happy she would be. And then a coworker of mine that I used to work with at my previous job called me and said, "Hey, do you remember last year when you told me that your mom was looking for a bird? Well, my sister has a bird that she needs to get rid of. She has twin babies, and she can't give the bird the time and attention that it needs to be happy. And she's looking to get rid of it for free, cage and everything. All the accessories that she bought for it come with it for free. And it's an African gray parrot. The cage is giant. It's a giant cage. It comes with a tree. It's got a little shower thing that it can stand on in the shower. It's got all these things that come with it for free." And I was like, thank you, universe. So this weekend, we're going to be picking up that bird. And his name is Ruben. And my friends are Puerto Rican, so I'm sure it speaks a little Spanish. It might be hola, hola, instead of hello, But yeah, I'm really excited to get this bird. Oh, have a good day, Heather. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this bird coming. So hopefully it's going to be staying with me for a short time until my mom is, fully healed from her hip surgery. But his name is Ruben, and he's 30. But, these birds can live to be 80. So he's kind of still in the young half of his life. But he's old enough that he's kind of past the rambunctious, destructive side of things. So I am so excited. So manifestation can happen, you guys. It can. So don't ever stop manifesting. Manifest what you want in this world because it will come to you. I had another idea. Okay, seeing that we've got a few people in here. Are you guys familiar with Rob how do you say his name? Bresney? Rob Bresney? He's an astrologer. Are you guys familiar with him? I've been reading his he does his daily astrology on his website. His website is freewillastrology.com. Freewillastrology, all one word, .com. And I have been going and looking at his astrological forecast for myself for years. It started off, I would read him in the newspaper in the Shepherd Express here in Milwaukee. And then it moved on to just going to his website and checking out what he has posted on his website for astrology. And I printed out today's. So does anybody want to hear what their astrology forecast for this week is? This is for the week, not just for the day. So if you would, just let me know. I'll read you mine. I'm Sagittarius. And I highly recommend this guy. Please go and check him out. He is pretty freaking fantastic. Okay, so Sagittarius is Sagittarian computer scientist Grace Hopper wrote, "The most damaging phrase in the language is, 'It's always been done that way.' For your inspiration, I'll expand on that wisdom. For the most obvious meaning, it is that we risk ignoring our individualized needs and suppressing our creative inspirations if we mindlessly conform to the habits of society at large and our own community. But it's equally important not to blindly repeat our own previous actions. Maybe they were brilliant and appropriate in the past, but there's no guarantee that they will always be so In conclusion, Sagittarius, I recommend you rebel against your own personal, it's always been done that way, as well as everyone else's. So isn't that cool? Okay. All right. Oh, everybody. Okay. All right, Katie, let me find yours here. It's on the last page, I think. Yes. Okay. So, Katie, you are Aquarius, correct? And who else is Aquarius? Oh yeah, you told me. Teresa is also Aquarius. So this is for Teresa and for Katie. It's the 17th annual Brag Therapy holiday for you Aquarians only. During this celebration, we expect you, indeed we want you, to boast extravagantly. Tell us in exquisite detail why you are such a marvelous creation. Explain how you have overcome seemingly insurmountable odds to transform yourself into a masterpiece of gorgeous intelligence. Regale us with stories of your winsome qualities, your heroic triumphs, your hilarious and poignant adventures on the edge of reality. Make sure we understand how educational and healing it would be to absorb your influence. Show us why we should consider regarding you as a role model. How about that? Whoa! So loud and proud, you guys. And Shanita, you're a Leo. Okay, Leo. Devante is also a Leo. Oh, here we go, Leo. My goals right now are to inspire you. 1, to be full of love for your daily life. 2, to adore yourself exactly as you are. 3, replace any numbness or boredom you feel with alert aliveness. Towards these ends, I offer 3 quotes. The invariable mark of wisdom is to see the miraculous in the common. That's by Ralph Waldo. Oh my God. I get so excited in talking that I can't talk. Okay, that was Ralph Waldo Emerson. The universe is full of magical things patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper, by Eden Philpotts. And I have the mysterious feeling of seeing for the first time something I have always known, by Bernardo Bertolucci. Well, that's awesome. So be full of love in your daily life, adore yourself exactly as you are, and replace any numbness or boredom you feel with alive activeness, alertness. All right, rock on. Oh, Fatima is Pisces. Okay, let's go. Pisces in the house. Let me find you on here. Pisces, here we go. I invite you to resolve old business, draw unrewarding projects to a close, and finish your lessons at the School of Hard Knocks. You don't have to carry out my next proposal, but if you do, I won't be upset. Politely and quietly scream, "Get out of my life forever!" at anyone who doesn't give you the respect and kindness you deserve. Okay, I'm giggling because the garbage men are right outside of my house. And I just yelled out, "Get out of my life forever." Okay, please don't do that, garbage men. I also recommend that you do a wrap-up ritual. Make an altar that pleases you with its beauty. Take 5 scraps of paper and write on every piece a description of an influence or experience you want to purge from your life. As you rip each scrap into bits, say this: I'm grateful for what I have learned from you, but now I am leaving you behind. And I think we all could take that advice. That is very similar to my releasing ritual that I do monthly. And I highly recommend that everyone adopt a ritual of releasing, something to that effect. You don't have to build an altar, but it's kind of nice when you create a sacred space for yourself and you designate that sacred space for something, like that. Like I have I might have a few too many altars. But I have altars for kind of everything in this room. But normally I do my releasing at the altar of Freya. Freya has become she has helped me so much in the last 8 months. You guys don't even know. And most of it has to do with releasing. So most of my releasing rituals are done right there. Last summer, though, I did them outside. I did them outside at our fire pit. So that was fun. So yeah, did you guys like this? Is this something you'd like me to do? I have to be very careful because I want to make sure that doing this isn't causing me any kind of copyright issues. However, this is publicly posted on his website along with a lot of others. So, and I have nothing but love and reverence for this man, okay, and his style of bringing our astrology to us, So, Rob Bresney, good dude. And that website, again, if you want to check it out yourself, is freewillastrology.com. And yeah, check it out. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. And yeah, I've been literally reading him since college. So he can't be a young man. I'll have to check into that. But yeah, he does good stuff. So did everybody have a nice weekend? Did everybody do something fun this weekend? We had such beautiful weather this last weekend. It was just incredible. I have all my windows open. I still have my windows open, which is why you could hear the garbage men that just went past. But I get so excited by the miracle that is spring. Okay. Up here in the north, we spent a good amount of the year in the cold. Okay. And when spring comes, it's just like a burst. I get such a burst of happy, loving energy. As you guys know, I explained that on Ostara, that is kind of like spring is very special to me. But today, this week, driving back and forth to my mom's house and back as I'm taking care of her after her hip surgery, I noticed that all the trees have little leaves on them. They're all coming out. They're all bursting forth. And the smallest trees, the smallest new trees that have been planted are fully leaved already, But even the big, old wise oaks and the giant Yggdrasil-sized elm that I have across the street from me, or not elm, ash tree that I have across the street from me is starting to bud. So that was so exciting. Oh no, Katie says my appointment today was canceled again. Got to get prior authorization from insurance. So I'm going to do resin art today. Y'all going to have a new video? Y'all going to have a new video coming up. All right, excellent. I will be excited to see your video, Katie, once it comes out. I love when you're doing your resin art. I love the intention that you put into your art and the attention that you put into your art. It brings me joy to see you so happy about the art that you're creating. And there's just sort of like this divinity associated with your art, which I totally understand because I feel a divinity with my art too. So I love that. And I love to see. And if any of you guys do art or anything and you'd like to come on a morning and show it off, or music, man, just reach out to me. You can always come and be a guest on my show and show off what you got. Anything positive, that's what I want this show to be about, right? I want to give everybody an uplift in the morning and a laugh, like it when my cat's setting itself on fire. My poor kitty. So yeah, I'm excited, Katie. That's going to be great. Yeah, the thing that you showed us yesterday on your live that you made with the moon and the girl, I was like, oh my God, that's beautiful! Holy crap! And it's huge. I wasn't expecting it to be that big, but yeah, it's gorgeous. I had something interesting this morning. Let me just take a hit off my vape here. So you guys know I feed the squirrels. I feed the birds and the squirrels here. I feed them several times a day. I've got a little troop of animals that comes every day. I look like Snow White. I walk out there and I'm tossing out seeds, and all these birds and squirrels and even a bunny that I've named Landvetir come running up to get their food. And this morning Odin was here. Now Odin he's a Norse god, obviously, but Odin is a squirrel. He's a one-eyed squirrel. And I named him Odin because he's one-eyed. He was here this morning, and then a little while later, I had this beautiful, giant black crow come that's never been here before. I've never seen it before. Come and get some peanuts too. So I felt like Odin was talking to me this morning, you know. So when I'm done here today, I'm going to offer him an offering and tell him thanks for, actually he's back there. Tell him thanks for sending a messenger. And what's interesting, on my altar back here for Odin, I just recently I was going through the drawers here, and I keep a lot of my ritual stuff in these drawers that are down here. And I found this card, and it's a crow. And it's not a tarot card or anything like that. It's something that came along with something that I bought at some point. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put that on the altar next to Odin, you know? So I put that up there, and then this morning, I get this. I'll show you the picture of this big, beautiful crow. Let me bring that up here. Oh, yeah, hopefully you guys can see him. But look at this guy. So this guy came to visit me this morning. I don't know what I'm going to name him yet. I might name him after one of Odin's crows or Odin's ravens, or I might just give him his own name because he's not a raven. He's a crow. So, hey, Randy, how's it going? It is good to see you. It is good to see you. You made it. Oh, Shanita, I am so happy to be in service to all of you guys. This is a joy in my life, and all of you, I consider you to be beautiful, loving, amazing friends of mine, and I'm just so happy that you come, that you're here. It's good to see you, Randy. Thanks for coming. What should we name the crow, you guys? What should we name the crow? So, the crow that is coming to visit me now. And I feel like I should give it a name because it is, I take these things as signs, you know, I take these things as signs, put the crow up on the altar and a crow shows up, right? So I take these things as signs. So I want to give it a name. So we got to come up with a good name for the crow. Katie says, making resin art again was my goal with my occupational therapy. That is awesome. Randy rescued a crow and named him Jasper. Now, Randy, were you able to get the crow to talk? Because crows are great at talking. You know, all the crows that my mom took in to rehabilitate all ended up talking like really well, almost as good as a parrot, if not better. So I remember this one crow that my mom took in. He picked up on Merry Christmas. And you know how when you have people over at Christmas time, people walk through the door and you're like, hey, Merry Christmas, right? So anytime somebody would walk in the door, regardless of what time of the year it was, this crow would go, Merry Christmas. I thought that was so cool. Yeah, crows and ravens do rock. Super rock. No, his will was broken. He had to give it over to the wildlife rescue. Oh no. Or his bill? His bill was broken? Is that what you meant? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's what my mom did. My mom was a wildlife rehabilitator. So he probably went to someone like my mom who helped him through it. And sometimes the birds can't be released back into the wild. And then they end up in a loving place, you know, where people can help take care of it. So, wing. A broken wing. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Oh yeah, that's tough. That's a tough fix. His will. Well, I guess your will would be broken a little bit if you had a broken wing, right? If you couldn't soar, birds are meant to fly. And if you can't do what you were born to do, I could see how that could break your will a little bit. That's okay, Randy. Randy's like, I didn't read what I texted. That's all right. No problem. We got it worked out, right? That's the important thing. What time is it? It is 10:45. Yeah, 10:45. So would anybody like a card today? Would anybody like a little mini reading? I've got the Tree of Life Oracle here. The Tree of Life Oracle. It's pretty cool. And I also got the Ask Yourself Tarot. And I pulled out this deck today because I wanted to show you guys, if you're learning tarot, this is a neat deck because it gives you a question. Like, this is a great deck if you're doing personal readings. And I feel like anybody who is learning tarot, that's where you should start. I don't feel like you should dive into doing readings for people online or for your friends until you really get to know your cards and you understand the connection and what that feels like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like to be connected to spirit. And each one of these cards has a question on it that sort of helps you connect to spirit, to understand the meaning, So, yeah. Okay, so you want to know about your road trip. Okay, let's give it a shot here. Now, one thing I want to say about all readings is because of free will, from moment to moment, life changes, right? And a lot of times what the cards are bringing to you is the current situation and the future based on current circumstances. So for entertainment purposes only, I'm going to shuffle my cards. And as I do, I'm going to ask the angels to protect us. I'm going to ask the spirits of the land and my home to surround us. That's the Landvatir and the Husvatir. And I'm going to ask the ancestors, both yours and mine, to give us wisdom. Have a great day, Shanita. Thanks for stopping by. I love you. Okay, so Randy has a road trip coming up. And Spirit, can you give us any information that Randy might need to focus in on for this road trip? Please and thank you. And I love you, Spirit. Okay. So we have Kether, the crown, source, point, and attainment. Kether, the crown, source, point, and attainment. And wow, okay, so this card has a really nautical feel to it, doesn't it? Like ocean, sea. It's, you see, like up here you see like a trident like Neptune has. And you have the swan right here along with what looks like maybe a kite. The bird, a kite, or maybe an eagle. And let me clarify this with a tarot. Let me grab a tarot card here. So we got Kether the crown, source, point, and attainment. So are you going on this road trip for a particular reason? Are you looking to attain something? Randy says, I ride the wind. I ride the wind. Da, 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 da. All right. Can you clarify Kether the crown, source point, and attainment for me, please, Spirit? Please and thank you. Okay. This is the one. All right. And we've got the Empress. Ooh. The question on the Empress is, what is crowning and evolving in my life that needs attention? Well, now that is interesting. So the question is, what is crowning in my life that needs attention? To clarify, Kether, the crown. Oh. So is this okay? My wonder with this is this road trip in a, are you going on this road trip for a specific reason? Is there something in your life that needs attention right now, and that is what this destination is about? Because if so, it's really important that you do pay close attention to that thing that you're going there for. Okay, see it for what it really is, not what you hope it to be. Okay, and yes, if you're going to Tucson, Katie lives in Tucson. And you're going out there to help a friend. Okay, well, that must be what the focus is. That is the focus. That is the attainment that the cards are looking for. So what the cards are saying is you need to really be careful and pay close attention to everything that you're doing while you're out there with your friend. Okay, something about this is going to give you some information that you need to know in order for you to evaluate what you need to do next, or what the appropriate thing is to do. A lot of times when we go out to help people, we end up pushing our help in the way that we want to help instead of the way that we need to help. You know, what do they really need? And it's going to be important that you pay attention to that. And that's what I'm feeling out of this. And if you have time, check out Katie. Katie lives in Tucson. Connect with each other. And I think that Teresa also wants a card, and so does Katie. So Katie came first. So Katie will get you going here. And then we'll do Teresa. And Jenny. So Katie. What does Katie need to know today, Spirit? Please and thank you. And if we go over a little bit over 11 to get these done, that's okay. We can do that. All right, Katie, I'm feeling this. We've got 12th path, the Magician, magic, divine mind, and intent. Magic, divine mind, and intent. And I know it's hard to see, but this Magician has got it all going on. She's got all of, this is not a tarot deck either, guys. This is an Oracle deck. But you can see the cups, the coins, the swords, the wands all around her. She is manifesting. She is strongly manifesting. She is using the magic contained within her to manifest. Katie, I feel like this is about your art. I feel like Spirit is saying, yes, Katie, now is the time. Now is the time to start doing this again. Put all of your magic into it. Put all of your intention into it. And feel the joy and bliss that it brings you as you do it. I don't even need to clarify that with a tarot card. That's awesome. That is so Katie, too. That is so Katie. I'll tell you what. I'm going to talk about the magic in manifesting gorgeous things. That's my Katie. That's my girl. Okay, so now we're going to go to Teresa. Let's see. Let me go back up to Teresa. Yeah, Teresa just said yes, please. Okay. So let's grab you a card today, Teresa. Okay, Spirit, what does Teresa need to know today? Please and thank you. All right, Teresa. What does Teresa need to know today, Spirit? Get that back down there. Okay. So Teresa's card is Chesed, mercy, abundance, gratitude, and big ideas. Abundance, gratitude, and big ideas. And I feel like Spirit is telling you, Teresa, that in order for you to feel more fulfillment in your life, that it's important that you stay focused on the gratitude that you have for everything that you have around you, your friends, your home, just everything. Don't take anything for granted, in other words. Sometimes we get into a oh, woe is me sort of mentality. I wish I had this. I wish I had this. I wish I could do this. I wish I could go and do this. We get into this mwah sort of way of thinking. And if that's happening to you, Teresa, now is the time to stop it. Stop it. It's time for you to look at what you have and be grateful for what you have, because abundance, understanding, or having gratitude for the abundance that you do have in your life is what grows and creates new abundance in your life. So try to stay focused on what you have instead of what you don't have. Mm-hmm. Feel the gratitude, mm-hmm. and allow it to shine. Mm-hmm. Okay? Because that is going to take you to new and higher places and bigger and better things. Mm-hmm. So that is what I'm feeling for that. Mm-hmm. And I think Jenny wanted one as well to talk. Yes, Jenny wanted one as well to talk about this new and exciting journey that she's on to New Mexico. So Spirit, what would you like Jenny to know about this upcoming new assignment, this new trip? Please and thank you. What does Jenny need to know, Spirit? Okay. The element of air. Thoughts, mind, and communication. The element of air. See the sword there? And the air element that is on the tunic there of that guy. So communication is important. And I feel like Spirit is telling us that at this point in time, as you go out there, that once you get there, it's really important that you set your boundaries clearly with this place that you're going to be working in. Okay. I know it's a new place. I know you're going to want to put your best foot forward and make a good impression on what it is that, on all those people that you're going to be working for, but be very careful not to overgive. All right. Set your boundaries clear, communicate your boundaries clear. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. People are not going to think less of you if you are honest about what you can and cannot do. Okay. So, although it is important to make that good first impression, don't put yourself into a position where it's going to be thought of as, okay, well, this is what Jenny does always now. You know what I'm saying? So, kind of just keep that boundary very, very clear for these new employers of yours, or this new place that you're going to. Okay. Does that make sense? Well, how about that? That was fun. Well, those were all good, pretty good readings too. I really, I love when Spirit allows me to speak. You know, that is such a humbling feeling a lot of the times. It's such a blessing to be able to do that. And I wish I would have discovered this about myself years and years and years and years ago. But you know what? Divine timing is perfect timing. And the universe wasn't ready for me to be going down this spiritual path, or I wasn't ready for the spiritual path until now. You know, divine timing is everything. And I really am appreciative of where I am right now. You know, this is what I love to do for you guys. All right. And Katie says, I got focus on what is working and what needs fixing for a change. There you will find your joy. Yeah. And I mean, and that is part of boundaries, right? You know, as we go through life, we discover what we like, what we don't like, and then we make those intentions clear with the people around us. And the more clear and the more honest and the more real we can be about our boundaries, the better our relationships become, right? Both in setting our boundaries and receiving other people's boundaries. Like, that's important too. Other people's boundaries are important too. So yeah, I totally agree with you, Katie. Teresa says, I have been feeling that the last couple of days. Yeah, good. All right, so I am going to end this now. I'm going to end this now. I've got some things I would love to do. And I've got the house quiet to myself so I can focus in on some spiritual things today, which is fantastic. And my arm isn't hurting too bad today, which is another great thing. It's supposed to rain today, so I was expecting it to be totally sore, and it's not. So I'm going to take advantage of this and do some things that I normally can't do because my arm hurts. You know what I'm saying? So I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Okay. Tomorrow night at 7:30, I believe, Central Standard Time, Katie has got a live where we're going to be talking about, we're halfway through the 31 Days of Mindfulness Challenge. And if you haven't done that, you guys, please go to Katie's channel and start doing the Mindfulness Challenge. Well, actually, you need to start over at the first one, but she's got to have them all in a playlist. But it is important that you do them in order. But please do. You can always go back and do them later. But we're going to be talking about this on Wednesday night. She's going to be talking about it on her channel. So make sure you check that out. I'll be back on Thursday for another coffee and talk. And I think Sonia is going to be live on Friday at 10:30 Central Standard Time. I sent her a message earlier, but it's so early in California, so I'm not sure that she answered me back yet. But by Thursday, I'll know, and I can let you guys know if she's going to be live. So I love you guys. You all have a great day. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you all again very soon. I'll also have a video tomorrow and Friday and Sunday, so check us out. Watch my community page. Okay? All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Mwah, mwah. We'll see you all again soon.